Hi, yogis. It's Jody, and we're going to continue with our theme on hip stretches and openers. Today, we're going to do lizard pose. And there's so many amazing benefits to doing this pose, but I love it for the hips because not only does it strengthen your hips, it helps lengthens and improve flexibility. It also helps reduce stress by relieving any tension or anxiety or fear and emotions we might be holding in our body. So let's just get right into it. If you have knee sensitivity, maybe grab a blanket or grab some blocks to help create space and length while we're in the pose. Usually during a yoga flow, we come into this pose from a low lunge or plank. Since I'm already here, I'm going to come into it from tabletop, and I'm going to do it at an angle because I really want you to be able to see where I place my knee alignment. So from tabletop, I'm going to step my right foot outside my right hand. My left knee is stacked. We don't want this in lizard pose. We want to move that left knee back so it's below the hip. So then I can already start to feel the stretch and the lengthening within my hip flexors. Now let's bring the awareness and our attention to our right leg. Ideally in this pose, we want it in a straight line. Of course, it's possible for our knee to go beyond, but for the purpose of the stretch to help create mobility and reap all the benefits from doing this pose, we want it to be in a straight line. Our foot can be straight forward, or I think most of us, myself included, prefer to turn our foot out at an angle. Have your knee and your toes pointing in the same direction. This is already such a good place to be. If you're feeling it here, you could stay here. If it's a lot for you, grab your blocks. Create some space. We don't want to just dump into the pose. Firm your inner thighs and draw your navel to the spine. And don't forget to breathe. If you want to take it a little further, come down to the forearms. Whether you're on blocks or not, tuck your back toes and lift that back knee. Coming into the full expression of the pose. Most of my weight's on the pinky side edge of my right foot. You could go ahead and just wiggle back and forth, eventually finding stillness. Take an inhale here through the nose. And as you exhale, lower that back knee, untuck your toes. And if you're on your forearms, come up into your hands. Let's take it to the other side. Move your blocks to the side. This time I'm going to turn all the way over. So knees come back together. Now we're going to step our left foot outside our left hand. We want to make sure we move the knee below the line of the hip. Angle that foot. So if you enjoyed the angle, another option you could do is coming completely onto the side of the foot. So your knee opens further, and then you feel the stretch all the way up into the groin area and outer hip. And then if you want, grab your blocks or not, and you could come all the way down to the forearms once more. Tucking your toes and lifting your back knee. Taking 5 deep breaths here. As you inhale, imagine that you're creating length. And as you exhale, relax the face, softening into the pose while engaging the legs, drawing the navel in. Inhale once more through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Lowering that back knee, untuck the toes. If you're on your forearms, coming back onto the hands. Knees come back together. Just kind of wiggle from side to side. Slowly sitting back onto your hips, onto your heels. Well, thank you so much for joining me this time for our yoga pose of the day. I'll see you next time, yogis. Until then, take care.